Okay, now we know that for the hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square equals to 1, equation of asymptote is y equals to b by ax and y equals to minus b by ax. Okay, we have these two asymptotes for the hyperbola x square by a square minus y square by b square equals to 1. Okay, if you find the pair of asymptote, if you find the combined equation of these two asymptote, pair of asymptote, then what we are getting? We are getting that x square by a square minus y square by b square equals to 1. It means this is the equals to 0. It means this is the equation of hyperbola and this is the equation of pair of asymptote. Just simply x by a, y by b, both one side, x by a plus y by b equals to 0, x by a minus y by b equals to 0. If you multiply, then you will get x square by a square minus y square by b square equals to 0. So from these two equations I can say that there is only difference in constant term in equation of hyperbola and equation of pair of asymptotes. Okay, now we have a note about the asymptotes of rectangular hyperbola. So see, today we will complete the remaining part of hyperbola. From next lecture we will start matrix and determinant. Okay, so for rectangular hyperbola, rectangular, asymptotes makes angle 45 degree with its principal axis. Principal axis, it means transverse axis and conjugate axis. Okay na, these are the axis of the hyperbola. Okay, so for rectangular hyperbola, asymptotes make angle 45 degree with its principal axis. How can I prove? Just simply find out na equation of asymptotes na, then we will get. So rectangular hyperbola equation is x square minus y square equals to a square. Okay, hyperbola become rectangular hyperbola if a equals to b. Okay na, this is the condition of rectangular hyperbola. So equation of hyperbola is x square by a square minus y square by b square equals to 1. If a is equals to b, then b square can be written as a square. Take LCM, a square multiply at this side, then what we are getting? X square minus y square equals to a square. Okay, a equals to b. And for rectangular hyperbola also we have to remember one thing, that value of e is root 2. Okay, value of e is root 2. Okay, so this is the rectangular hyperbola. Now find the equation of asymptote. Equation of asymptote is y equals to plus minus b by ax. This is the equation of asymptote. Now we know that b equals to a, then what we are getting? Y equals to plus minus, both cancel out, x. Y equals to x and y equals to minus x. This is the equation of asymptote for this rectangular hyperbola. Okay, now easily I can find the angle formed by the asymptote with principal axis. Now draw the graph. See, rectangular hyperbola x square minus y square equals to a square. This is the rectangular hyperbola x square minus y square equals to a square. Asymptotes are y equals to x, y equals to x. This is the line y equals to x and y equals to minus x. Y equals to minus x. Now we know that y equals to x, slope of this line is 1. Angle with x axis is 45. This is the transverse axis. Okay na, for hyperbola, and this is the conjugate axis. Now obviously y equals to x makes angle 45 degree with the x axis, it means transverse axis, and also angle with y axis is 45 degree. Okay, so hence proved na, rectangular hyperbola makes angle 45 with transverse and conjugate axis. Simple. And also this one, for this one also same thing na, this angle is 45, this one is 45. So both the asymptotes make the angle 45 with the transverse and conjugate axis in case of rectangular hyperbola, remember. Okay, and now see one thing, actually we have another form of hyperbola also. that is also rectangular hyperbola, but equation is xy equal to c square. Equation is not x square minus y square equals to a square. Okay, equation is xy equals to c square. In that case, hyperbola lies in first and third quadrant. Okay, so see that one. Rectangular hyperbola referred to coordinate axis as pair of asymptotes. Okay, now what do we want? We want a hyperbola whose asymptotes are coordinate axis. Okay na, refer to coordinate axis as pair of asymptotes. So see like this one, these are the coordinate axis, x axis and y axis. Now we want a hyperbola for that these axes become asymptotes. If these axes become asymptote, then hyperbola is like this one. Okay, hyperbola is like this one. This is the hyperbola. Now see, for this hyperbola, x axis and y axis, these touches this curve at infinity na, these are like tangent at infinity, at infinite distance. So these are asymptotes for this hyperbola. Okay, now what we want equation of this hyperbola. How to find? Now see, can I say that equation of pair of asymptote is equation of pair of asymptotes. Equation of pair of asymptote is equation of this asymptote is y equals to 0 and equation of this one is x equals to 0. Okay, so if you want pair of asymptote, then multiply both y equals to 0 into x equals to 0. If you multiply, what we are getting? We are getting that xy equals to 0. Obviously from this one, if you solve this one, what you will get? X equals to 0 and y equals to 0, equation of x and y axis. Okay, so this is the equation of pair of asymptote. Then hyperbola, okay, then equation of hyperbola, we know that in case of rectangular hyperbola, in case of hyperbola, there is only difference of constant term in equation of hyperbola and equation of pair of asymptote. So pair of asymptote is xy equals to 0, then pair of equation of hyperbola is xy equals to terms of x and y remain same. There is only difference in constant term, suppose C. Okay, so xy equals to any constant. This is the equation of this hyperbola. Okay, and in general, equation of hyperbola is xy equal to c square. Xy equals to c square. Okay na? There is only difference in constant. We can also write c, same thing, but we will write c square. Why we are using in questions? You will get maximum time c square. Why they give us c square? Because then general point become easy, ct comma c by t. Okay, and in this case, general point of this hyperbola, this is the equation of this hyperbola. Okay na? General point is ct comma c by t. Any point on this hyperbola can be assumed as ct comma c by t. Okay na? Now see, this point always satisfy this equation. If you put x equals to ct and y equals to c by t, t cancel out, what we are getting? C square. And because of that reason we are taking c square. Okay, if you take only c, then here we have to take root ct comma root c by t, then you will get ct. Okay, then you will get c only. Okay, so it is done na. So equation of rectangular hyperbola is xy equals to c square, where any point on this hyperbola can be assumed as ct comma c by t. Okay, write down. We will take some question based on this rectangular hyperbola. After that properties, then over. Okay, can I have? Remember that in case of rectangular hyperbola, asymptotes make angle 45 degree with principal axis, it means transverse and conjugate axis. Okay. General point of the hyperbola xy equals to c square is ct comma c by t. Write a question. First one, xy equals to c square. Find all standard term. Find all standard terms. Okay. It means all standard term, it means center of this one, focus of this one, equation of the directrix, okay, and equation of the extremities of lattice rectum, value of E, that is equals to root 2, because this one is rectangular hyperbola, then value of E is always equals to root 2. Okay. And now see how to find. First, xy equals to c square. Okay, so this is hyperbola. Now you want all the standard terms, x axis, y axis. First thing, what do you want? I want transverse axis and conjugate axis. Now we know that xy equals to c square. For this hyperbola, x and y axis are asymptotes. If these are asymptotes, also we know one thing, that these asymptotes makes angle 45 degree with the principal axis. Okay, and I can say that we have a line. Suppose this is the transverse axis. Okay, because always hyperbola along transverse axis. If this is the transverse axis, then these asymptotes must make angle 45 degree with this one. If this angle is 45, then equation of this one is y equals to x. It means for this xy equals to c square, equation of transverse axis is y equals to x. And similarly, equation of conjugate axis is passing through center. Both asymptotes always intersect at center of the hyperbola, passing through center and perpendicular to transverse axis. So this one. Okay, and equation of this one is y equals to minus x. It means x plus y equals to 0. So this is the equation of conjugate axis. So equation of transverse axis is y equals to x, equation of conjugate axis is x plus y equals to 0. Now choose next, what do you want? Okay, now I want to vertex of this hyperbola. Vertex, it means this one. Suppose this is A and this one is A dash. Now we want both vertex. Now how can we find this vertex? We know that one thing, this is the center O. Distance of vertex from center of the hyperbola is equals to A. Okay, na? And A is equals to, for this one A is equals to, now see one thing, this distance is equals to A. Okay, na? Distance of the vertex from center is equals to A. It means to get A, we want this distance. Okay, to get this distance, first I have to find the A. Okay, A, how can you find? If you solve these two equation of this one and equation of this one, then you will get point of intersection. Okay, so put y equals to x. If you put y equals to x, what we are getting? X square equals to c square. X square equals to c square, then x equals to plus minus c. Plus c for this one, plus c for this A. Okay, and minus c for this one. If you put plus c in this one, then also we will get c and minus c. A dash is minus c comma minus c, where I will write, okay, c, I am writing here, minus c comma minus c. Now value of A is equals to OA. Distance of the vertex from center is equals to A. Okay, and OA is equals to, if you find this one, then you will get root 2c. Okay, So OA equals to root 2c, and we know that E is always equals to root 2. Okay, then AE is equals to 2c. Why I am finding AE? Because we know that to find the coordinate of the focus, we know that distance of focus from center is equals to AE. Suppose this is the focus S1, then OS1 is equals to AE. This distance is equals to AE. Okay, and this AE is equals to 2c. If this distance is 2c, then coordinate of S1 is, I can use parametric form of line now, x1 plus r cos theta comma y1 plus r sin theta. Any point lying on a line at a distance r from a fixed point 0 comma 0. So 0 plus r cos 45, angle is 45 now, and 0 plus r sin 45. So by using parametric, and also one thing, this distance is 2c, make rectangle triangle, then this one is 2c cos 45, 2c sin 45. So x comma y. Okay, so S1 is 2c cos 45, cos 45 is 1 by root 2, comma 2c sin 45, sin 45 is 1 by root 2. Then what we are getting, S1 is root 2c comma root 2c. So we are getting the coordinate of S1. Similarly S2, if you find, you will get as negative sign now. Okay, because midpoint is 0 comma 0, minus root 2c comma minus root 2c. Okay, now we are getting focus now. Okay, now next thing, what you want, suppose you want equation of the directrix. So directrix is parallel to conjugate axis, and distance of directrix from center or conjugate axis is A by E, and this A by E is equals to A by E C. Okay, suppose this point is P, then can you find the coordinate of P? Obviously I can find. C, this distance is C, C cos 45 comma C sin 45. C cos 45 is 1 by root 2 and C sin 45 is 1 by root 2. So what we are getting, P is C by root 2 comma C by root 2. Now if you want equation of this one, directrix, and equation of this one is, this is parallel to this one, so x plus y equal to something. Okay na, this is x plus y equals to 0, for this one x plus y equals to something. Can you find that something value? Obviously we know that P lies on this line, so must satisfy, and for P, x plus y is equals to 2c by root 2, it means root 2c. Okay, root 2c. Now if you want extremity of latus rectum, suppose this one, this is the latus rectum. Okay, then this distance is, distance of extremity of latus rectum from focus is b square by a. What is the distance? B square by a, but in rectangular hyperbola a is equals to b. So what we are getting, b or a, and a is equals to root 2c. Okay, so this distance is equals to root 2c. This distance is equals to root 2c, and suppose this one is a, p, q, r, latus rectum. Suppose this is r, this point is r, and this one is r dash. So I am finding the coordinate of r. Now coordinate of r for S1 is root 2c comma root 2c, and this angle is 135, angle formed by this line with x axis. This one is 90 and this one is 45, so 135 is the angle. Okay, now I am using parametric form. So x1 root 2c plus r, this distance is root 2c cos theta. Theta is the angle formed by the line with positive x-axis. So we know that if you draw x-axis, this angle is 45, this one is 90, so total is 135. So x1 plus r cos 135 is minus 1 by root 2. Okay, comma y1 plus r is root 2c, and sin 135, that is 1 by root 2. Okay, so from this one we are getting r as root 2 cancel out. If you take common c, then you will get root 2 minus 1 and comma root 2 c into root 2 plus 1. Okay, this is the coordinate of r, and similarly coordinate of r dash. R dash same thing, but r dash is below s1, so we have to use r as negative. R as negative, it means distance as negative, so minus root 2c. So just change the middle sign. If you change the middle sign, then r dash will be c into root 2 plus 1 comma c into root 2 minus 1. Okay na? Similarly also we can find the extremities of lattice rectum at this side. We can find anything na. Okay, equation of directrix of this side is x plus y equals to minus root 2c. Okay, any problem? Clear na? Can I rough? So for xy equals to c square, transverse axis is y equals to x, and equation of conjugate axis is x plus y equals to 0 or y equals to minus x. Right, next question. xy equals to c square. Write equation of tangent on x1 comma y1. Equation of tangent on x1 comma y1. Okay, now what do you want? We want equation of tangent on this point. We know now that equation of tangent at any point of the curve is t equals to 0. So just find out t equals to 0. At the place of xy, what we have to put? X y1 plus y x1 by 2. Constant term remains same. Okay. So this is the equation of tangent at x1 comma y1 on x1 comma y1. Okay, and also one thing. This x1 comma, it is also possible that equation of tangent is only given in terms of x1 comma y1. Okay, and also we know that x1 comma y1 lies on this curve, so must satisfy put. Then we are getting x1 into y1 equals to c square. So c square can be replaced as x y1 plus y x1 equals to 2c square. C square can be written as x1 y1. Divide with x1 y1. If you divide with x1 y1, y1 cancel out, x by x1 plus y by y1 equals to 2. This is the equation of tangent at the point, on the point x1 comma y1 for this hyperbola. Okay. Question number 3. Equation of tangent. After that, chord whose midpoint is x1 comma y1, find its equation. Prove that equation of chord whose midpoint is x1 comma y1. Prove that equation of the chord whose midpoint is x1 comma y1 is x by x1 plus y by y1 equals to 2. Okay. Now I want to prove that equation of the chord whose midpoint x1 comma y1 is x by x1 plus y by y1 equals to 2. It means same, but both are not same now, because x1 comma y1 in this one lies on the curve, and in this one x1 comma y1 is the midpoint of the chord. Okay, like this one. Suppose this is the hyperbola and this is the chord, and midpoint is x1 comma y1. You can also take chord like this one, and this is the midpoint x1 comma y1, and you want equation of AB. Okay, and equation of the curve is xy equals to c square. Now simple, equation of the chord whose midpoint is given, we can use now. Okay, equation of chord whose midpoint is given as t equal to s1. T, again what we are getting, x y1 plus y x1 by 2 minus c square, and s1, put x1 comma y1 in the equation. x1 is x1 into y1 minus c square. Okay, now minus c square cancel out. Again divide with x1 comma y1 and 2 at the side. What you will get? X by x1 plus y by y1 equals to 2. This is the equation of the chord whose midpoint given. Okay, write down. Can I have कर देता. Okay, next question number 4. This is the curve xy equals to c square is given, and at any point P, ct comma c by t, at any point P a normal is drawn which intersect the curve at Q whose parameter is t dash, and we want value of t dash t cube into t dash, and answer is given as minus 1. Okay, this is the question. Normal at P intersect the curve again at Q whose parameter is t dash. It means this point is c t dash comma c by t dash, and we want value of t dash t cube into t dash. Okay, it means we want relation between these t. So coordinate of Q is c t dash comma c by t dash. Okay, now we want relation. This is the normal. Okay, now we know that equation of normal is minus 1 by dy by dx. dy by dx represent equation, not equation, slope of the normal. Slope of the normal is minus 1 by dy by dx. We know that dy by dx represents slope of tangent. Okay, and slope of normal is minus 1 by dy by dx. Okay, so I can find the slope of this normal by using two methods. One is y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1, and other by using dy by dx. So first I am finding dy by dx, y equals to c square by x. Then dy by dx is equals to minus c square by x square. C square constant. Differentiation of 1 by x is minus 1 by x square. Okay, now find the value of dy by dx at point P whose parameter is t. Okay, so actually na dy by dx represents slope of tangent at any point. dy by dx at point P represents slope of tangent at P. Okay, so at the place of x, what we have to put? X coordinate. If you put a ct, then c square t square, c square cancel out, minus 1 by t square. So this is the slope of tangent at point P. Then slope of normal is minus 1 by this one. Okay, na m1 m2 equals to minus 1, m2 equals to minus 1 by m1. Okay, so minus 1 by this one, what you will get? T square. Okay, now see, slope of PQ. Slope of tangent is minus 1 by t square. Then slope of PQ, it means normal at P is t square. Okay, and again I can find the slope of PQ by using y2 minus y1, y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. Okay, now from this one c will be cancelled out. If you take LCM, t dash minus t, t minus t dash, LCM t dash. So after cancellation you will get that minus 1 by t dash remain. Multiply this denominator part at the side, then you will get t cube into t dash equals to minus 1. Hence solved. Okay, write down. Done. Okay. Next, find locus of orthocenter of triangle inscribed in hyperbola xy equals to c square. Okay, now what do you want? You want locus of the orthocenter of triangle inscribed in hyperbola xy equals to c square. Okay, actually remember this one. Orthocenter of triangle inscribed in rectangular hyperbola is always lies on that same hyperbola. Okay, it means again you will get locus as xy equals to c square. See, this is the rectangular hyperbola. Okay, suppose this is the triangle. Inscribed in this hyperbola. Okay na, A, B, C. Okay, now what do you want? We want locus of orthocenter. Orthocenter is point of intersection of altitudes. Okay, drawn from vertex to opposite side. So to get orthocenter, I have to draw the perpendicular from A on BC and from B on AC. Okay, then this point of intersection is the orthocenter H. Okay, now how to get H? If you want locus of H or coordinate of H, then we have to solve both perpendicular AD and BE. Now to solve these perpendicular, we have to first find the equation of these perpendicular. So find equation of AD and equation of BE. Suppose parameter of A is T1, it means this point is CT1 comma C by T1. B is CT2 comma C by T2 and C is CT3 comma C by T3. Okay, now I want equation of AD and equation of BE. To get equation of AD, what do we want? We want two things. One is the point and other is the slope. Point we have A. Then I want slope. Okay, how to get the slope of this one? If slope of BC is M, then slope of AD is minus 1 by M, because this is perpendicular to BC. Okay, so first I am finding the slope of BC, M of BC. y2 minus y1 by x2 minus x1. So y2 minus y1 c by t3 minus c by t2 by c t3 minus c t2. Okay. If you solve this one, after c cancellation, take LCM t2 minus t3, t3 minus t2, minus 1 common, cancel out. At the end, you will get only minus 1 by t2, t3. This is the slope of BC. Okay. So equation of AD. Equation of AD is y minus y1, point is this one, c by t1, ct by c by t1 na. Y minus y1 equals to m. Slope of BC is minus 1 by t2 t3, then slope of AD is t2 t3 into x minus x1. x1 is ct1. Okay. Now again write equation of BE. Equation of B, point this one. Now you want slope of AC. If you find slope of AC, similarly what you will get? Minus 1 by T1 T3. Okay. Now equation of BE. This is equation number 1. Y minus Y1 C by T2 equals to M. Slope of AC is minus 1 by T3. Then slope of BA is T1 T3, okay, into x minus x1, that is CT2. Now solve first and second equation. Okay, so how to solve? We want value of x and y now. Point of intersection, locus. Okay, at this time I will find the value of x and y, then just find the locus relation between x and y, that become locus now. Okay, so how to solve? First minus second. If you take this one minus this one, y cancel out, this one minus this one, there is minus minus become plus, then you will get c by t2 minus c by t1, because if you subtract this one, then negative become positive na, and this remain negative. This one minus this one, c minus c t1 t2 t3 minus c t1 t2 t3, same part, so cancel out. This one minus this one, I can take common x t3, then you will get t2 minus t1. If you take LCM t1 t2, after taking common c, you will get t1 minus t2, cancel out minus, then you will get x equals to minus c by t1 t2 t3. This is the value of x. If you put value of x in any equation, then you will get value of y as, suppose I am putting minus c by t1 t2 t3 at here, then here t2 t3 cancel out, minus c by t1 cancel out, and this one minus c t1, you will get y value as minus c t1 t2 t3. Okay, here x comma y is point of intersection. Point of intersection, it means coordinate of h. Okay, Now to get the locus of h, we have to first assume h as h comma k. Okay, suppose I am assuming h comma k. Now h equals to this one, k equals to this one. Okay, then find the relation between h and k. At the end, replace h with x and k with y. It means at the end, this again become x and this again become y. Now simply I am finding the relation between x and y directly. Okay, so how to find? We want relation without t1, t2, t3, na? So multiply. Then what we are getting? xy equals to, if you multiply this one into this one, cancel out, you will get c square. It means this orthocenter of rectangular triangle inscribed in rectangular hyperbola always lies on same hyperbola. Okay, so locus is xy equals to c square. Okay, remember this one. Can I have? Okay, now we will take last properties of the hyperbola. After that, this chapter will be over. Okay, na? And I will not prove properties of hyperbola directly. I will write, because proof are similar to properties of ellipse. Okay, and properties also like similar thing. For this one, properties. First one. Suppose this is the x-axis and this is hyperbola. Focus S1, S2, and this is the auxiliary circle. Now actually property is, if suppose this is the asymptote and this one is also asymptote. Okay, I am writing only one asymptote. If you drop the foot of perpendicular from focus to asymptote, then always that foot of perpendicular lies on auxiliary circle. It means foot of perpendicular from S1 focus on this asymptote, this is y equals to b by ax, lies on auxiliary circle. It means foot of perpendicular lies at this point, auxiliary circle. Similarly, if you draw the foot of perpendicular from S2 on asymptote, then it will lies on auxiliary circle. Okay, and suppose this length is d1 and this one is d2. Then also we have one relation that d1 into d2, product of perpendicular from focus to any asymptote to asymptote, is equals to semi-conjugate axis square. Same as in ellipse we have na, d1 d2 equals to b square. Product of perpendicular from both focus to any tangent is equals to b square in ellipse. In hyperbola we have d1 d2, product of these two distance is equals to semi-conjugate axis square. It means b square. Okay, so property is foot of perpendicular from both the focus to asymptote lies on auxiliary circle. Okay, this is the first property. Second property is same in parabola, ellipse and hyperbola. That one is portion of the tangent between point of contact at directrix always obtained right angle at the corresponding focus. Okay, this is same in all three. Suppose this is the tangent at any point P. Okay, tangent at P, and this one is corresponding directrix x equals to a by e, and this is the center of 0, 0. Then portion of the tangent between point of contact and directrix always subtend right angle at corresponding focus. This angle is always 90 degree. Okay, again proof is same as proof in ellipse. Okay, third one, reflection property. Again reflection property is same. Reflection property in ellipse is angle between PS1 and PS2 is bisected by tangent at P and normal at P. Same here. Suppose this is the hyperbola. Okay, both focus S1 and this one is S2. Then incident ray along S1. Okay, suppose this is the incident ray along S1. It means if this one pass through this one, then it will be passed through S1. This is the incident ray. Then after getting reflected from the surface of the hyperbola, then reflected ray will pass through another focus. If incident ray is along one focus, then reflected ray is always pass through another focus. This is the reflected ray. Okay, this one is along S1. It means again same thing. This is any point P, tangent bisect the angle between PS1 and PS2. Okay, remember this one. And last, fourth one, confocal ellipse and hyperbola. Are always orthogonal. To each other. Okay, it means if focus of ellipse and hyperbola is same, then they are always orthogonal. It means angle between these two curves is always 90 degree if they have same focus. Okay, diagram for this one. Can I rough this part now? See, like this. Okay, suppose we have ellipse and hyperbola, confocal. Okay, suppose this is the focus S1 and this one is S2. And this one is S2. So if they have same focus, then they are orthogonal. I have to prove this one now. So see, suppose this point of intersection is P. If I join PS1 and PS2, okay, now for this hyperbola I am drawing the tangent at P. Now can I say that tangent of hyperbola at P bisect the angle between PS1 and PS2. Okay. Now in case of ellipse, if this is PS1, these are focus of the ellipse, and PS1 angle between PS1 and PS2 is always bisected by either tangent or normal. Okay. So this line is tangent for hyperbola, but now this can't be tangent for ellipse now, obviously, because this is intersecting at P now. So this must be normal for ellipse. So this line is tangent for hyperbola but normal for ellipse. Okay, it means tangent become normal. Then if you take tangent at P, for ellipse, then that will be perpendicular to this one na. See, now I am drawing the tangent at point P. This is normal for hyperbola, then angle between normal and tangent is 90 degree. Okay, this is tangent for hyperbola at point P, this is the tangent for ellipse at point P, and angle between these two is 90. Then angle between these two curves is equal to 90 degree. It means, just remember one thing, that confocal, hyperbola and ellipse are always right angle, are always at a right angle or orthogonal. Okay, so from tomorrow, from next lecture, we will start a new chapter. Okay na? Okay, bye.